That's a good one. You too, man. You don't do it now. Where's your second chair? Where's your second chair? Where are so they now? You know they come up with you. What they say I'm for people. Morning, sir. Why your office not tired? Tell me, just give me one good job. Morning, does she?
So I take a malaria medicine.
Malaria. Aku take it, aku do malaria. Kuna bela chakata. Chakata. Love this one. This one. Read down the water.
Oh, you done. I should burn them neck, one.
Hello. Hello. Good morning, class. Good morning, ma. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you very much. Who is hello? Who is Philip Tesu?
Ma'am, the woman.
You a student?
Yes, ma'am. Here, ma'am.
Mute your speaker.
Okay, ma'am.
All of you should mute your speakers.
I will close this door because of the sun when they reflect.
Can you mute your speakers?
My eyes are so bad now.
Go path, Teso, mute your speaker. Amani, mute your speaker. Lucy, can you mute your speaker?
Is my speaker not off?
Mute your speaker. Mute it. Iwodu Lucy, mute your speaker.
I'm trying to mute it. I thought it was muted.
Can you see where there is an icon there? Audio? Audio, click on it. Click on the audio and to mute. Are you seeing where I'm pointing?
Yes.
Can you touch that place on your system so you can mute?
Please, I'm at it. I'm at it.
Who is Bawu Anastasia? Bawu Anastasia. Bawu Anastasia. Are you there? Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, who is Bawu Anastasia? Is Bawu Anastasia there? Hello? Tell her to unshare. Yes, tell her to unshare the screen. I want to share my screen. Tell her to unshare the screen. She's sharing the screen without any picture, without anything. And I'm not able to share my own screen. Can you put it off?
Right. The host is supposed to remove that.
That person sharing the board. That person should unshare it so that I can step in. And that person's name is Bawu Anastasia Ngwesi. So what are you doing?
She didn't even know she's the one.
Yeah.
The host.
All right. So good morning, class. Good morning, class.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So how was your night?
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning. Very well, thank you.
So fine.
Okay. It's okay. All right. Today we'll be looking at normality. Today we'll be looking at normality in psychopathology. Yesterday we looked at the term psychopathology. And so today we're going to look at normality in psychopathology. So what do you understand by the word normality or normal behavior? When someone says, when someone talks about normal behavior, what is the person talking about? What does the person mean?
Acting in line with
For
other
one,
Morning, ma'am.
for one, okay.
Good
For one to,
Allow that
hello,
person
ma?
who is speaking to speak. Yes?
Okay. For normality simply means, if one is talking about normality, it means one behaving the way it should, act the way it should, following the norms and the rules and regulation at all times, and not deviating from what is supposed to be. That is normality.
Okay. So today we are looking at abnormal behavior, or better still, normality in psychopathology. So remember, we talked about psychopathology as a scientific study of maladaptive behavior with a systematic look at the causes, the symptoms, the symptoms, the treatment, the prevention methods, and then I've talked about the prevention, talked about the treatment, the diagnosis, and all of those. So we looked at how these pathologies were explained in those days and how biologically they were explained and how psychologically we can get a good explanation of why there's a disorder. So today we are looking at part of what psychopathology is trying to tell us about, the normality. Now, when you want to define normality, at times it may be somehow difficult, but then we can still make do with what we have. It may be difficult at times because of difference in culture and a lot of issues surrounding the term. So we have here in the introduction that behavior is a complex spectrum ranging from what society generally accepts as normal to what might be labeled as abnormal or indicative of mental health conditions. You will all agree with me that some behaviors that we say are normal are certainly not normal in some societies. You agree with me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We agree with you.
Okay. I thank God so much that we are not coming from one society. We are coming from different cultures. That's what I mean. We have someone from Abuja. We have someone from Kaduna, someone from Plateau. We have some in Makurdi here. We have someone from the East, and a whole lot. So what at times may be considered as normal in Kaduna may not be normal in the East. And so that is why it is somehow difficult to talk about, to define normality, because even when you give a definition, you are giving a subjective definition, because that which you are talking about as being normal may not be normal in another context. So understanding where behavior falls is very important, and it's something that will help mental health practitioners or mental health professionals, educators, and society at large. Understanding where behavior falls. Now, is it that behavior, a particular behavior put forth in the note, is characterized as something very good, and then the other that is maybe somewhere in the East is now seen as something good, whereas comparing the two cultures, you realize that that same thing that is considered as good in one area may be disregarded in another area. So for a mental health professional to try to understand this, this logic will help them a lot to put things right, to be able to identify what would be considered as a normal way of behaving or normal behavior. Yesterday we talked about, we didn't go in depth into what I'm trying to say, but I did mention something about individual differences. So
You are actually advised to keep your head. If ever again, not required,
mentioned,
keep your head.
who is talking, please?
So,
Hello, 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 hello.
Yes, ma'am, we are here.
Yes, I mentioned something on individual differences. And so, because individuals are different, normal behavior in one individual may be different from the other individual, just as we have the cultural perspectives. So, understanding an individual, understanding every individual, it's very, very key in trying to understand normality. Now, like we were talking yesterday, even if you have abnormal cases, abnormal issues, take for instance, you have people who are suffering from mental illness and are on admission. And take for instance, all of them are having depression. So the way you handle the first patient will not be the same with the second patient, because of individual differences and because of the culture the person has come from, because of the differences and what is considered mental illness and what is not considered mental illness in the different cultures we have. So normality in the context of mental health has been variously defined as absence of disease. For some, it is a stable mind. For some, it is the capacity to function. Then it is also having a spirit of contentment and satisfaction. It could also mean that one is able to adjust. One's ability to adjust to certain situations of life could also be termed as normality. So like we said earlier, this is all subjective. This is all dependent on the individual. Now, All this, we say absence of disease. Then an ideal state of mind is considered as normal behavior. Then it's considered as being normal. Then we have the average level of functioning of an individual within the context of a total group. Now, what that particular group has said that it should be a normal behavior. Now, if you have an average functioning level within that population, then it is considered normal. Now, if you have the capacity to also function, it is considered as normal. But if you don't have a capacity to function, then it is abnormal, because human beings are born to be active. Human beings are born to have a stable mind, do things in the right direction. So if you are not able to handle things the way you should, then it is abnormal. And that is why when you wake up in the morning and you realize that your neighbor who sings very early in the morning has not been able to sing, you ask the neighbor, what's the problem? You're asking because the person is always singing and is always active and all of those. And so because the person has deviated from what you know as being normal, so you are asking questions. What is the problem? So we are also talking about normality, because we also understand, or we also know what is about or what constitutes abnormality. Now you are able to say, draw a clear line in between the two, because you know that if you are talking about normality, then it should be this, it should be that, it should be this. Then if you are talking about abnormality, then it should be that, it should be that, it should be that. So if it is not abnormality, then it is normality. So we are talking from a point of view that we understand the differences in the two terms. And so because we understand the two terms, we understand the differences, we're able to categorize what is normal and what is abnormal. However, like I said earlier, the definitions or not having illness condition is also subjective. Being normal, it is also subjective. Now, for some people, maybe they wake up every day and they'll tell you that I'm not feeling fine. But even when they have a little headache, they will tell you I'm not feeling fine. Even when they have catarrh, the normal catarrh, I am not feeling fine. Every day they have one excuse or the other. Even when they are not sick, they find joy in that. Whereas there are some persons that will say, I am normal, I'm okay, when they are having some issues, some illness conditions, yet they will say they are normal. You see the different contexts. You see how the differences exist amongst individuals concerning what would be considered as normal and what will be considered as abnormality. So that is not to say that mental health is contrary to mental illness, or it is said absence of mental illness. Now, when your mental health is intact, but you have some issues, then you have to talk about you being normal, but then being abnormal as well. So it is said that there is a very thin line between normality and abnormality. And any one of us here can cross to the next within minutes and then come back to the other. Now, take for instance, we have abnormality this way on my right, and then we have normality on my left. Now you are behaving very well here in the normality and doing everything all right, but at some point you get to behave like you are abnormal, and that is why sometimes people say, why is this one behaving like he's not okay? It is because maybe you have crossed the line, the thin line. Any one of us can cross to it. And I will use Freudian explanation of psychoanalytic theory to throw more light on this. Freud looked at unconscious conflicts. He looked at unconscious behavior. We have the conscious, we have the unconscious, we have the preconscious. Now, he said the conscious behavior, he used an iceberg to make a description of this. You know, have you heard about, or you have even watched that movie, Titanic? You see that when they were moving, something was in front of them, and they thought it was so little that they could just crash and move ahead. But when they came to it, what happened? That led to the capsizing of their ship. So Freud tried to say that the conscious behavior of every human, it is like the tip of the iceberg. Now the tip of the iceberg, it's like a lot of the ice is beneath, and then up here you find a very little protruding ice block up here. What I'm trying to say is that down here you have a bigger ice, and up here you have the little one. And so he said the conscious is what is up, and then the unconscious is what is beneath, the bigger piece. That bigger piece that led to the capsizing of that ship. So now we human beings, everyone is like that. Everyone has the conscious and the unconscious. Now, in the conscious, we are conscious of those things that we do. We are much aware of those things that we do. Then in the unconscious, we are not conscious of what we do, but we do them. Okay, take for instance, you see someone well-dressed, grammatically polished, you know, and then even well-behaved. But then at some point, maybe something triggers another, triggers the unconscious. Okay, like maybe you insult the person. You can say, you can say, you this man, you are very stupid. So when you say you this man or you this woman, you are very stupid, then the person will ask you, what have I done? Now, if the unconscious is to let out, he may start or she may start quarreling, showing some form of aggression and all of those. But this person had never shown any aggression before. Is that okay? The person is the type of person that does not, you know, quarrel at random, a kind of, is a well-constructed person. Yet, when he was told that he is stupid, he reacted. So the unconscious is basically the kind of reactions that we put forth. The kind of reactions that you bring forth. Those reactions that ordinarily would not show. They are the unconscious. And so you bring them forth. At times you see people quarreling and all of those. It is because there has been a trigger. They have been triggered. Their unconscious has been triggered, and so they have no control over it, and it comes up, boom, and they show what kind of behavior they have been hiding. So every one of us has it. If you want, you can just maybe get someone around, even if it's just a little child. Get someone around, and then you try to match the person's leg, and you see the reaction of that person. The person may give you one blow, or may show some form of aggression in one way or the other. indicating that we have a lot stored in the unconscious that no one knows about. And so we cannot say the gap between normality and abnormality is so wide, given this explanation I'm giving. The gap is not wide. There is just a very thin line, like this, showing the division between this and this. And then any one of us can switch from this to that. And that is why when you can even see people who are very quiet, at times they exercise some level of aggression. They exercise some behaviors that ordinarily they wouldn't have done if they were not triggered. So another theorist, Maslow, you know of Maslow's theory of self-actualization. Now, according to Maslow, it is not just talking about the unconscious, but also talking about the environment, the influence of the environment on the individual. Now, for Maslow, he looks at how people are able to actualize their potentials. So he has looked at mental health as being something that people will be able to achieve. Now, he equated mental health with a process of self-actualization and looked at it as one being able to explore his talents and potentials to be able to achieve a greater thing. And in doing this, he so much attaches much emphasis on the self and others and having the autonomy to pursue what is there in the future, which is self-actualization. So he has equated mental health to being able to actualize yourself. But that is also another explanation. But then we can also talk about functioning. Now, if you're not able to function, then you cannot have self-actualization. So this means that having mental health is being able to actualize your potentials. It is being able to function well. It is being able to explore the environment. It is being able to be creative. So that is that. So yesterday we talked about statistical deviance and all of those. Today we are still going to mention them because we are still within the region of psychopathology. So in defining normality, it also involves statistical, social, and cultural dimensions. What is the statistics saying about normal behavior? What is it talking about social dimension, the social dimension? How has cultural dimensions come to play? Now, it is very important that we try to understand these concepts. They will help us to understand what normality is, and will help us also to understand what abnormality is. Now, like we said yesterday, you want to understand mental disorders, you have to look at it from the historical context. You look at it from the biological context. You also look at it from the psychological point of view. Here, at the psychological point of view, it talks about the theories, how theories have been able to explain mental disorders. So it is in this place when you want to talk about normality, you will definitely look at the statistics. How is the statistics like? Now, what you consider normal should have a bell shape. should have a bell shape. Now, this bell shape is it's like, I don't know if you did something about statistics. Now, like when you maybe, let me say, for many who are teachers, when you mark scripts, when you mark scripts, you discover that you have so number of people having A's, so number of people having B's, so number of people having C's, so number of people having D's, and all of those. So you try to put this in a curve. Now, when you put definitely A's, the A's are not supposed to be many, isn't it? So after marking, you put the number of A, you put it on a curve. You draw a graph, and then you put it on a graph. You pin it where it is, where it's supposed to be. Then you move, how many B's do I have? You put the number there. How many C's do I have? You put the number. How many D's? Like that to the end. And so by the time you draw a line around those points, those heights on the graph, if you have really marked well, if you are objective in your marking, you discover you have a curve. A curve, it will go up from A, it's going to B, because B's are more in number than A's, and then C's, of course, are maybe the highest. And so the curve goes this way and touches the C, which is up there, and then it slopes down to the D's, to the E's, and the F's. And so when you have a perfect curve, it shows that what you have done is ideal. Now here we are talking about statistical explanation. Now when you put the statistics of the behavior that are normal and they form that curve, then that explains normality. Now, but when you put the scores on the graph and you discover that the curve is skewed, then you notice that there is a problem. There is a problem. So let us try to explain the statistical dimension as when these behaviors are numbered and put on a graph, and then a line is drawn down, a curve is drawn down, and it's a good curve, or it's a good curve, we say it is a normal curve. Yeah, we say it is a normal curve, and so it is with behavior. But then if we draw the line and we discover that it is skewed, the curve is skewed, then it is abnormal curve, and so it is abnormal behavior. It is an abnormal, there is an abnormality. So in terms of social, the environment, what is that behavior that is basically very important in the environment, that is regarded as a good behavior, that is regarded as adaptive behavior. Now, in the environment already, we humans are in the environment, and we all know that this so and so behavior are regarded as a normal behavior. So when people start misbehaving, when people start behaving the other way around, many can correct them, can tell them what you're doing is wrong. And that is why we are able to tell someone, you are doing the wrong thing, you are doing the right thing, because we have these demarcations, and because we know, we are aware that this is what is for this, and this is what is for the other. So in the cultural dimensions, we are looking at different cultures, like I did explain earlier, concerning someone in Kaduna, someone in the East, and all of those. There's so many of those explanations. So now I want you to also participate here in the cultural dimensions. Tell us those things that take place in your culture that you feel in other cultures they are not acknowledged. The floor is open to you. Can we have an interaction?
Yes.
One after the other, please. Don't say it in chorus. One after the other. Hello?
Yes. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello,
I wanted to
ma'am.
hear from you. Yes, I us to.
My hand is up.
Yes.
My hand is up.
Yes, you can go on.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
One of the cultural behaviors that is considered normal in Benue State, especially the Tea people, is eating of pig.
Eating of what?
Well, pig, pork meat.
Pork.
It's a normal thing to eat pork meat, slaughter the pig and take it anytime you want. Nobody look at it as anything bad. But when you go to some northern part of Nigeria, you don't even rear a pig. You are not allowed to even rear a pig, not to talk of slaughter and eat. Even if you are doing it, you have to do it hiddenly. So in such areas, it's abnormal. But in our part of the state here, it's a very normal thing. So that's another normal and abnormal behavior we can find in our culture. Thank you, ma'am.
That's very good. That's very good. Yes, who else can give us another example? Let's take as many examples as we can.
Yes, my hand is up, ma.
Yeah.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm still going to emphasize on the meat aspect. We in Benue State, popularly the Tiv people, we don't play with dog meat, and in the other culture, is one of their best meat.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Yeah, that's very good. And then you don't play with dog meat because what?
Ma?
What happens? What happens if we eat it?
It's an abomination.
It's an abomination.
Yes, ma. In the other side, when you play with the dog meat or you eat dog meat, you cannot give birth.
Okay.
When you give birth, the child will die.
Okay.
You have to treat it in the cultural way.
The cultural way. Okay.
Yes,
yes, we have things like that. Yes. And concerning the dog meat, when a dog dies on the way and a woman says, in those days, I don't know if it's still happening these days, but then in those days, when a woman says it is passes close to it, the woman has problem with child delivery or has issues with conception. So by then, we have not been given room for us to practicalize this thing to know how, if really it does happen. But then that is it. We have grown to meet the culture that way. Yes, that's a good example too. Yes,
I have another one.
Yes.
In some cultures, epilepsy is considered as somebody who is endowed spiritually. When somebody's lungs is convulsing, throwing away saliva.
Yeah.
In some cultures, it is considered you are endowed spiritually. But in some cultures, it is considered as a sickness. Obesity. When some people are obese as a result of sickness, in some cultures, it is considered you are a rich man, you are fat, you have food, you have eaten.
Okay.
Yes, that is a very good example of what we are discussing here. Because when somebody eats or somebody's slim, when it is, you know, we all know what's obesity.
Yeah,
it's a form of diseases. But in some places, if you are not obese, that means you are not it. That's my contribution, man.
very good contribution. Yes,
Right.
who else can tell us?
Yes, I have another one.
Yeah.
Let's also look at marriage.
Okay.
In some culture here in Nigeria, before you marry a wife, you'll be given some lashes. You'll be beaten seriously before you be allowed to marry the wife.
What culture is that?
The Fulani culture, to be precise.
Okay.
Although it's changing little by little.
Yeah.
But those days, you will be given strong 24 lashes on your stomach before you be allowed to marry. But that is, to them, it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Why to some of us in other culture, we come, you pay your bride price, you do the necessary things, we give you our daughter.
Yeah, you
So
even dance.
to them it's normal, but to us that look at that behavior, we look at it as an abnormal behavior,
yeah,
or abnormal culture. So
yeah.
even our own, they may also look at it as an abnormal culture. Marriage takes place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a good one too. Can we
Hello,
have people from the East? Can we have people from the East tell us what is obtainable in their culture? Yeah.
Hello, ma.
Hello.
Yes.
I still have one to give. Ma,
before you give yours, I want someone from the East. I think we have someone from the East here. We have a lady from the East, I think so.
Yes, ma'am, from the East, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, from the East.
From the East.
Okay. Let me see your name.
Okay. I am actually Thief, but I spend more of my time in the East.
No, we don't want those Igbos. Those ones that are Thief but spent time in Igbo. I want someone actually from the East.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anyone here?
Can I speak?
I'm saying,
yes, ma'am. Can I speak?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Uzoma, can you tell us what
yes,
you have in culture in the East? And then...
Yes, ma'am. In my culture, if a woman dies, a married woman dies, she is buried in her husband's compound.
Okay.
But in certain cultures, in some parts of Nigeria, a married woman is always like in the Benue, some part of Benue, the Idoma side, and some Igala people. If a married woman dies, her corpse must be taken to her father's house for burial. But in my side, from the East, if a woman dies, a married woman dies, her corpse is usually buried in her husband's compound.
Okay. That's a good one too. We have many of those, eh? Yes, the other person wanted to talk. Let him talk and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Yes, ma.
Yes. About
I want to say
masquerade festival.
Hello, ma.
Like if you go to the East festival. Yes, ma'am. If you go to the East, places like Enugu, Ebonyi, and others, when it is the masquerade feast, women are actually forbidden from coming out to see the masquerade. But if you come to Benue, the masquerade feast, which is we call it the Ajigbe, it's actually a ceremonial festival where women and children alike are allowed to come out and watch and even spread their money while they dance. So it is actually a variation in culture. Why in another culture forbids women from seeing, here in Benue, it is allowed that women should see.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that is that.
That particular example.
One person wanted to speak.
That example that example he gave about the masquerade, I to a certain level, I want to say no to it. Reason being that when you talk about masquerade, this is a general thing. We are not specific on certain masquerades. Even in the Igbo land he's talking about, there are certain masquerades that women are also allowed to see. Even in Benue here, there are certain masquerades that when you want to bring them out, women are not to see. Like even some men said they will not allow you to see it.
Igbe.
Like they Igbe. You don't allow women to see Igbe. But you carry it along and it's a masquerade. So for you to make it like that, it will look somehow. So that's my line of thought anyway. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So even in the East, we have particular masquerades that can run around without having any problem with people.
Exactly. Very well.
It is still the same.
I want to add up to it.
Okay.
Yes. Like in Akwa Ibom, that is where I base before coming.
And what's your
coming
name?
down
Abu?
to Benue State. Yes, Abu
Abu
Sesu Simeon.
Simeon. Yeah.
Like they have one masquerade in Akwa Ibom.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the day they are celebrating that masquerade, even strangers don't move around.
Okay.
Like you are traveling from another state and passing through Akwa Ibom. If that masquerade is out and they saw any car coming, everybody in that car, they will kill them.
Wow.
They kill anything they see out.
I have experienced it.
In Akwa Ibom, that's why I base. I know exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
I experienced that too.
You experienced it, and how did you escape that?
The driver turned back immediately. He was given the information and he turned back immediately.
So you saw them coming?
We from a distance, the people were already scared of. So the driver had to ask what was going on, and he was told that it is masquerade day, and he turned back immediately.
So you didn't even see the masquerade?
No.
And you would have gone there to see the masquerade, then you turn back now.
So that the death will catch us, man. No.
That means you want them to die.
No, I don't want anyone to die. So that's a good one.
Hello, ma. Let me.
But
yes,
I'm having. Hello.
Hello. Excuse me. You this men, you are dominating this class. Where are the women? Where are the women?
Ma, they're absent today.
We are here.
Ma, we are here.
Yeah, Blessing, Rosemary, can you talk?
Yes.
We are not absent.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Like for the, I think in the north, women are not allowed to dress inappropriately, like to expose any part of their bodies. Like it's a culture. Yes, it's a known culture for those in the north. Even when you're not in the north and you're a full-blooded northerner, like you, even when you're not there, that culture is already imbibed in you. Like even if you go somewhere else, you don't dress the way other people dress. But like for some other parts of Nigeria, nobody cares whether you're walking around the street naked. Because that's the trend of today. Even with the culture that is on ground, people still dress the way they dress. But for the north, you can't even try it there. So that's another cultural, yes, ma'am.
Difference.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You see for yourself. Okay, yes, let one lady speak again, then we can round up this.
Okay, ma. Like in the north, specifically in Kano.
Okay.
The drinking of beer is not allowed there. They don't accommodate that in Kano, especially. So, but down here in the east and the middle belt, people go out to drink beer. Beer parlors are being built, and you don't see people harassing them. But you can't try that in Kano. You can you can go to Kano, but you will not see a beer parlor, except maybe if you go where Christians are, and you have to hide and drink. It is not allowed in Kano. Not at
in
all.
Sabongeri, we don't hide.
Not in Kano. We drink. Go to Kano. I
totally disagree with her.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally disagree with her.
In Sabongeri, they sell beer publicly.
Even some Islams, they hide and drink. Not only the Christians.
They are hiding. So
yes, ma'am.
I think what she's trying to say.
That is why I said
what she's trying to say is the degree at which that is done in Kano is less than what is done down here.
Correct.
Yes. If she says so, she's correct, because in Kano there are designated places where you can sell those things. They call them just somebody saying Sabongeri. When you go there, they call the places Mami and some other places like that. It is possible that you can go there and find them drinking beer and some other things, selling them publicly. You can even sit down on the chair and enjoying yourself like that when you are doing that. But
it's not random.
It's not possible. So it's not possible. That's why. So it's not random that like in Benue State, when you go to every nook and cranny, you find a beer parlor. It's not like that in Kano, but there are places that you can sit and they drink beer publicly there in Kano.
Okay.
Thank you.
At officers' mess, eh?
Yes, places like officers' mess, army's barrack, and then like the place is just
not only of that, even with Kano local government town.
Like that.
Okay, okay. That's okay. That's fine.
In the street, in some local government.
So you now can see how these differences constitute difficulty in giving a particular definition to normality. What is deemed fit in one culture is maladaptive in the other. What is adaptive in one culture is adaptive in the other. And so we can use a lot of cultural dimensions to understand what normality is. But normality basically will be subjective, because if one culture permits what we say is abnormal in one culture, then it is subjective to that culture. So it is like that. But we have not heard about the Yorubas and the Hausas and the Igbos. Is there any Yoruba person here? Hello? Hello?
We don't know whether there's a Yoruba person here.
Has anyone stayed in the Yoruba land? What about the way they greet? What about the way they greet? They greet and lie down. Huh?
They prostrate on the ground.
Yeah. So now, that greeting and ours, how is it like?
It's different. We stand and greet, or we just bend.
We just bend. But if you tell a thief man to prostrate and greet, what will he tell you?
Combination, self. We'll consider it as you are demeaning his personality.
Even in their marriage,
another culture again, man.
Yes, correct.
In Benue here, if somebody die and we are attending the burial, we use palm leaves.
Okay.
As a sign that you are going for a burial, and it has become so deep that if you are going for a burial, being a thief man, and you are not tying palm fruit on your vehicle, at some point the vehicle will develop a fault on the road. Even generator in the burial, if you don't tie palm leaf on it, the generator at some point will go off. So when I was in Port Harcourt, I was going for a burial in Akure with some Yoruba boys. I was driving. When we stepped out of the road, I was in search of palm leaf to tie on the vehicle. They asked me, what am I doing? I say, in my culture, if you are going for a burial, you tie palm leaves. They say, God forbid. In their own culture, if you are tying palm leaves, it simply means you are carrying corpse. You are carrying dead body in the car. So I should not try it. I did not try it. So being a combination of their culture and my culture, which I was driving, and I believe in my culture, they countered it. When we got to Ore, the car broke down.
So what did they say?
I did not even mention it again. I was just knowing deep inside me that my culture has captured us. So
what did they say?
managed for over 1 week. They could not fix the car. We have to tow it from Ore back to Port Harcourt. The engine scattered, condemned.
So what did they say afterwards?
They did not say anything. Without money, we contributed money and towed the car back to, because they so believed in their culture. While me, I was believing in my own, they were believing in their own.
Yeah, so your culture came to play at that
because
point.
I was the one driving the car.
But did you believe so much that it was that cultural thing that
deep inside me, honestly, Mark, I cannot lie. I believe that it was my culture that visited me on the way.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. So these are the differences. So that's why you cannot say your culture is not good. It is my own that is good. The other person will also tell you that his culture is good.
No, that's cultural diversity.
Yeah, that's it. So that is why the definition of normality is difficult. It's complex. So let's go to characteristics of normal behavior. See, these things are, I'd already talked about a bell shape, bell curve, and all of those. And so just like we have mentioned, these things are intertwined. They're woven, they're interwoven. So what you regard in one culture as okay is not okay in another culture. And then defining culture based on statistics or statistical behavior or the bell shape or the curve is not enough. It's not enough because you need to go to a lot of other dimensions. You need to look at the social dimension. You need to look at the cultural dimension as well for you to ascertain that the behavior it's normal or not. And that is why, yeah, at least within a region, within a society, they could have a similar perspective. Now we can say within Benin State, or let's say within the Chief people, we have a similar perspective. We have it that this is what is obtainable. And anything out of that is abnormal. But anything within it, it is normal. Is that okay? So they don't must have it like that, like that, like that. So that is that. We also talked about greetings, isn't it? Differ from one place to the other. And then there is this example I want to give you. Like, I don't know, a particular culture, when you hold your hand and you like do something like this. Are you watching me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you watching me? When you're talking to someone and you
We're
are
watching you.
doing, yeah, when you're talking to someone and doing that way, it is regarded as being rude, being disobedient, a kind of. But to other cultures, it is nothing at all. Now, in another culture, giving someone something, an elder something with the left hand, is no problem at all. Now you can use your two hands. You can even give. I was in one of those cultures, and then I saw them giving a priest something with the left hand, and it deep within me, I was not comfortable. I said, "What kind of culture is this? Why is that person using the left hand to give an elder something?" You know. So, but after the service, after mass, I tried to inquire if giving the priest something with the right hand or the left hand, it's ideal. They told me they don't have such in their place, that they can use the two hands. So I stayed a little while in that culture, and when I returned back to my culture, I nearly forgot about mine. I would give my elders things with the left hand, and then I would now suddenly realize that I have done something wrong in my culture. I would now apologize. So you see, because we have different cultures, at times you may be influenced. At times you may be influenced by that culture that people in your own culture do not recognize as a good, good behavior. So I returned home with giving something, using my two hands, you know. Yes, and to me, I felt like ideally God has given us two hands, and so why should we say one is right hand, one is left hand, and then we make preference? We say we prefer the right. The right is when you give someone with this, it means respect. When you give someone this, it means disrespect. But this, it's me, only me, a single being trying to understand that. I cannot say others should understand the way I have, because they would dispute it completely. But to me, I agree with that culture, and I said, yeah, it is quite true that God has created our two hands. What is the difference, left or right? There is no difference. But these are human distinctions, you know. Yeah. So this is our culture, and we shall uphold it. So, but now I am okay, and I'm used to the right hand again, no longer the left. But at times when I do that mistake, I offer apologies immediately. So that is that. So do you feel that when a chief man greets a Yoruba man standing up, he will feel okay? Hello?
Hello, ma. Actually, I studied at University of Ibadan. That was really a very big problem for me. I've had so many challenge me when I do that. they'll be like, this boy, you are too disrespectful. So you will stand up to your elders. And I said, in my own culture, that doesn't mean any form of disrespect. The much I could do is, the much I can do is just bend down for you. Maybe I want to greet, just bend down to show reverence. But to like go down on my nails and all of that was a very big problem.
And apart from that, you may be dirtying your wears.
Yes.
You may be making your wears dirty, and you will not like to make them dirty, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, ma. Hello, ma. My hands is up here.
Yes.
It depends on the person's discretion. I give an example. I served in Sokoto around 2013.
Yeah.
I normally have a discussion with the emir of Salame where I served.
Yeah. Okay.
When we go, there are people squat on the ground. Yes. But I don't squat on the ground. I sit on the chair with my coppers and we discuss with him and leave. Because he understood from the culture we are coming from.
Yeah.
I am not a Hausa person, so I shouldn't go and be squatting on the ground that I'm greeting a chief. I'm discussing with the chief. In my place, they don't do that. So he understands from the perspective I was coming from. So it's all about discretion. If a Yoruba man knows very well that a team will not greet by lying on the ground, even if you greet him standing, he doesn't have problem about that.
That is it. So it is for us to understand.
Yeah, but there's a saying that says, if you're in a Rome, behave like a Roman. So if you're in somebody's land, I think it's preferable or it's better you practice that person's culture at the moment.
So if you are,
are you
listening,
John?
Are you listening,
John? Are you saying that because you are a Christian, you go to the Hausa land because you want to behave the way they behave, then you become a Muslim, and you'll be going to toilet, washing your this thing with this and becoming al-Awra and everything you'll be doing like.
Or if you find yourself where
because you are living in their land.
If you find yourself where people are eating dog, whether you don't eat because you are in Rome, you eat dog.
The point I'm making is this: once it's an individual stuff that it doesn't interact with people, you can practice what you believe. But as far as you are in a land where you deal with elders and people, when you know that greeting somebody in that manner, you will not disrespect, you will not discredit you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Then when it comes to religion in northern land,
yes, are you listening to me?
There's a lot wrong with it.
You know, you see, and that is why we are saying that it is not easy to give a concise definition of normality until the line is drawn, until you have what is considered as normal, and then you know what is normal because you also know what is abnormal. And that is why we have cultural explanations. And so what he's saying about going to Rome and behaving like Romans, I think it can play in a very little way. It cannot be all over. Hello? Are you listening to me?
Yes, we're with you, ma.
Yes, I was in a place sometime. And in the church, I was always the only one who would tie my hair. I would put on a scarf. Are you listening to me?
Yes, we are.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. I want to tell that person who said that when you are in Rome, you behave like the Romans. You can also behave like the Romans, but not totally. I was in a particular place, and in that place, they were not tying scarf to the church. They would leave their hair, they would only make their hair very neat, and then go with open hair to church. But for me, because of the culture I come from, I couldn't do that. My conscience didn't allow me to do that. I would always tie my hair to church. And each time I'm in the church, everyone turns around to look at that person who was tied. And they came out to ask me, you're from where? Where are you from? You know? And then they were able to identify where I come from, and they say, oh, it's their culture. You know? So I was always the one, for the number of times that I stayed in that place, I was the only one who was tying my hair in the whole church. I was the
Ma,
only
where
one.
was that?
Now, when you talk about going to Rome and behaving like Romans, I will somehow disagree with you. In some areas, you cannot behave totally like the Romans. You can just behave a bit like the Romans. Is that okay?
Yes,
So if you are in Rome, in some areas where that can play, it's in issues of what to eat. Now, if you are in Rome, definitely you don't have any other choice except you have moved with your food stuff. Otherwise, you have to eat what they are eating. You have to eat what they are eating and learn some of their ways of life in order to suit into that culture. Not throwing away what you learned so many years ago and then picking up a new thing. It is not easy to pick up entirely something new from a different culture.
In addition, ma, to also add to what you have said, once you go out there and then you throw away your own culture because you are in Rome, automatically you have become a slave to that country. We should also understand that when those Roman people come to Nigeria, they insist on getting what they want. In fact, most of the time, they even refuse to learn the language we are speaking.
Yeah.
Because they will speak their own and ask for an interpreter. Even if they know the language we are speaking very well, they will refuse to do it. That is to tell you that they value their culture and who they are. So if we in Nigeria have to also value what we have, we should stop going to Rome and then behave like the Romans. Let us behave like the Nigeria that we are, and then eat the food if we want to. And because we are not able to carry our own food over there, we can manage their own food, but not completely. So that's my own take. Thank you, ma.
So, let me add. Man, I support your talk concerning behaving like Rome. Man, that is where we are having issues with our culture. So many of our culture are going in extinction, like language. If you find yourself somewhere, you force yourself, even your children, to speak their language, and you discover that our tea culture is good. Language is going. And now coming to eating their food, we're having problems. Our daughters, our sisters are having issue of consumption because of eating abominable food that our forefathers put a stop on it. Eating dogs. Where I am in Abuja, you begin to hear them saying, thief people now, they're eating dogs, they're doing that. All sorts of nonsense. Well, I used to stand on my feet. Thief man don't used to eat dog. If you see any person speaking thief, it's not a thief man or a thief person. Any thief person cannot near where they're selling dogs. But when some of us say, behave like them, you do this, you do that, they will bring us down, our culture down. Then now you are telling me that if you stay in the north, where the Fulani people, where they do marry their cousin, then you begin to marry your sister. It's impossible, man.
That is why there is cultural difference.
Yes,
there's cultural difference.
It's a problem. It's a problem. Thank you, man.
Okay, it's fine then. So thank you so much. And on a general note, in trying to define normal behavior, there's some kind of flexibility about it. But we know that since cultures are different and social contexts are different, and a lot of differences exist even amongst individuals, all of us cannot be doing one thing. And so the distinction still lies in what is generally accepted by the society and what is not acceptable in the society. So in summary, normal behavior reflects not only statistical averages, but also contextual appropriateness capacity for adjustment and emotional health. These characteristics enable individuals to thrive or to strive socially, emotionally, and functionally in their environment. So can we have a touch of what is abnormal as well? Let me look at the time. Let me look at see, this is 3. So what is abnormal behavior, or what is abnormality? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes,
can you hear me?
We can hear you.
So what is abnormality, or what is abnormal behavior? Are you tired?
No.
Are you tired?
No, we are not.
So why are you not answering me? Or the network is not stable, or what? I'll put in another slide. Namak saying, what is abnormality?
It's still showing normality.
Really?
Yes.
Is it showing normality?
Yes.
Yes, the slides, yeah, it's still showing normality.
Okay, I'm coming.
Can I try?
Yeah, I'm coming. Let me put that right. I'm coming. Yeah, you can be talking while we try to put things right.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Abnormal behavior can be
Can you
seen.
see? Hold on. Can you see abnormality now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma, we can see it.
Okay. Yes, you can go on.
Abnormal behavior, they are behaviors that violate societal norms and causes personal distress for an individual to function effectively.
Okay. These people, you are excellent. That's good. Abnormality and functioning. Abnormality leads to maladaptive behavior. Sorry, maladaptive functioning. Not being able to function when things are abnormal. Now it affects your capacity to function. It affects your capacity to reason and to do all that makes you a good, or all that makes you a better person. It affects all that makes you a good person, or all that makes you a better person. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is it affects your well-being. So when you are not able to function adequately, it means that there is an abnormal situation. So here we have abnormal behavior. She said it's a deviation from the norm, Deviation from the norm. Now, like we were talking about, normality. We did say that we are talking about normality because we know that there is abnormal behavior. Now, it is like, especially we women, not only women, but men these days too, You know, you keep a mirror in the room and then you look at yourself. Without someone telling you, you know that what you have put on, it's fitting, isn't it?
It is.
You're talking about a wear fitting you very well because you'll be able to look into the mirror without even anyone telling you. You look into the mirror and you appreciate yourself. You say, wow, your mommy has given birth to you well, you know? And so we talk about abnormality because we know there is normality. If there was no normality, then there wouldn't be any reason for abnormality. Now, the distinction helps us to understand each of these terms well and how they come about and what kind of behavior one can put forth for you to say it is an abnormal behavior or it is a normal one. Connection step. Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
Okay. So when you have when you are exhibiting maladaptive behavior, it then means that it's going to definitely affect your ability to function, your capacity to think, to reason, to decide between what is good or wrong. What you have to do when you are abnormal is just your mind tells you to do what and you do it without you weighing it to see if it will actually affect you or make the society feel like you are a nobody. And so it affects you and it's so distressful, can lead to a lot of stress. So like I was talking about the DSM-5 yesterday, you see we have it here. It's telling us that it provides a framework. It provides a framework in which we can be able to understand that there is a disturbance in emotions and your behavior or in the way you speak and all of those. So you are able to dictate using the diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorder. That's the DSM. So here the explanation for abnormality say it goes like this: that the DSM provides a clinical framework describing abnormal behavior as a significant disturbance in cognition, emotion, regulation, and behavior. So it is able to tell us that some form of behaviors are disturbance. Now, when you have some abnormalities, let's look at imbalances in the neurotransmitters. Let's look at that, and we see that for the neurotransmitters to be imbalanced, for the chemicals to be imbalanced, for you to have chemical imbalance, it means that things are no longer normal. And a result of that is depression. I'm talking about serotonin. Now, a result of an imbalance of serotonin is depression or anxiety. But a balance of serotonin in the body implies normality. So any shortage of whatever is a disturbance. Any shortage of the neurotransmitters, of the chemicals in the body, results in a disturbance. Now, when you have balanced dopamine in the body, in the brain, dopamine is also a neurotransmitter. You know, you are able to do a lot of things. You're able to think well. You're able to move. You know, coordinate. You are able to. Your body is coordinated in a manner that you behave well. You behave normally. But the absence of that or shortage of that causes a lot of disturbance to the being. So abnormality is when there is, let's say, there is a shortage. There is a shortage of normality, or there is a less of normality. But then you can simply say, when things are normal, then there is no disturbance. But when things are not normal, which is abnormality, then things then there is a disturbance. When people are not coordinated, when people are not thinking rightly, you can categorically say it is an abnormal situation. Take for instance, when you go back home and then you meet your grandparents, maybe your great-grandparent who is alive, and maybe is not able to remember. Is not able to remember anything. Maybe they have dementia and all of those. And so they're not able to remember events. They find it difficult to remember events. So you can say that there is a chemical balance in the body, and then because of their age, because as we age, whatever that was stable in our body reduces. And that is why you see people who are aged, at times they forget, at times they can't move upright, at times they can be aggressive when they're not shown love, and they can be talking alone. So that we are aware that at so age, these things start unfolding. Then now, for the younger generation, if you start talking alone on the road, you start forgetting a lot, and then you start laughing anyhow, you know, when people are talking about serious matters that do not call for laughter, you laugh like something is so funny, and then you laugh alone. Then there must be a disturbance somewhere. So all of this require clear diagnosis in order to be able to identify the symptoms, those symptoms that have persisted for some time. Like yesterday, we talked about some duration. If you refer to the DSM-5 about a particular mental illness, you will be guided on how to be able to classify that particular illness as a disorder, using time and using the kind of symptoms that have persisted within a specified duration. So when you look at that, you'll be able to identify whatever that is causing the impairment or the distress in that person. The distress could be in social functioning, it could be in occupational functioning, it could be in some other areas, it could be in eating. You know, some persons who have issues with their mental health, who find it difficult to put more food into their mouth. They may lift the food, but put it by the side. And that is why when you see many people who have mental illness, at times when they're eating, even when they try as much as possible to put in their mouth, you discover it wraps all over their body. It falls down. It means they are not coordinated and they are not able to function very well. In your occupation, you may have some impairment as well, not being able to put things right in your workplaces, trying to carry your work as you should. So that is abnormality. Hey, some people are tired.
Sorry, ma.
We are, but we shall push forward.
We shall push
Break
forward,
will soon come.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
better we
break.
continue. It's better we
Yeah,
continue.
I may even finish it now and then we go for a good break. Or do we go for break now?
No, ma.
No, ma.
Let's finish it. Let's finish it.
Let's finish it. Let's finish it.
Okay, so for you to understand human behavior, you must distinguish between the normal and the abnormal behavior, which people put on using those various contexts, using the social, the culture, and the psychological context. For you to understand human behavior, you need to understand the two. Now that you know that normal behavior, it's about good mental health, or you can say normal behavior, it's absence of diseases or whatever. Or you can say normal behavior, it's when you behave within the context, within the norm. When you do not deviate from the norm, then you can probably say that is normal behavior. Then when you are not able to behave within the norm, within the context of our discussion, then you know this is abnormal. Once a behavior is abnormal in the society, people frown at it. Before you can even identify that what you have done is wrong, many people tell you, why have you behaved like this? At your age, you know, they believe that at your age, you should be coordinated and right-thinking someone, and so you should be able to do something in a cogent manner. So, we already said it is difficult to define, just like it is difficult to define normality, so it is also difficult to define abnormality. So now what are we talking about? The same examples we gave when we're talking about culture, the same example we gave when we're talking about the society, the norm, and all of those. We shall also bring those examples here. Because what is classified as an abnormal in one society is classified as normal in another society.
Yeah.
Is that? You see?
Yes.
That's why when you are discussing, when you are discussing normal, you can also discuss abnormal simultaneously.
It's a two-way track. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you are discussing abnormal, you are also invariably discussing normal, because for you to understand abnormal, you will have to understand normal. So, though it is complex and subjective, just like we said, even in cultural factors, in cultural context, it is not the same. Cultures are not the same. Now, yesterday, I also gave you one example concerning, was it not you? I think somewhere else, if not you. Now, I gave an example about, you know, back then, the thief people would have one big cup. We used to call it, who sent you? A big cup in which water is put, and everyone who sits to eat the food at a round table drinks from that cup. Every mouth, even if you are 10 or 20 in number, all of you will drink from that big cup. And you see, with the prevalent situation around us this time, you discover that there are some diseases that one can pick easily from sharing a particular item. Something like hepatitis, you can get from the cup. Yes, a lot of those. So now I think with the development of issues around illness, the thief people have also learned how to how not to share one item like they used to. They can eat from the same plate still, but then about drinking of water, people no longer allow that kind of habit to occur. People take their different cups. So you see, what may be not, and then time can also tell what is normal and what is abnormal. Like the example of cup, you see, then it was normal, but now it is abnormal given the illness situation, given the conditions at hand. That when you still remain in that culture, you are going to have a lot of diseases. So people have learned and have moved away from there. So abnormality can also change with time. What was abnormal may become normal, or what was normal may become abnormal. Like in the case of drinking from the cup was normal, from one cup was normal, but now most people don't allow that. People don't want to share, even amongst their children, they don't want that kind of sharing. Everyone have their cup and even plates of food. Now in most homes, you discover that people no longer sit together to eat. Everyone is given their own food to eat. And so because of the prevailing health situations that are emerging day by day. So time can also affect normality, just like cultures. So abnormal behavior is associated with mental disorder. But for normal behavior, we say it is associated with mental health. So like we talked about the perspectives of normal behavior, we are also talking about the perspective of abnormality. Still using the same context, still using the same maladaptive behavior to talk about it, still looking at the statistical definition and how behaviors are described and all of those. You see that now in the case of normality, we described it based on normality. Now here is abnormality, still the same context, but then we're talking about abnormality. Do you understand the logic? Do you understand the logic? Do you understand the logic? Hello?
Mark, can
yes,
you go back
ma'am.
a bit, man?
Go back over it.
A bit. So please, man. Thank you.
Okay, it's fine. So we are talking about perspectives of abnormality. Remember, when we were talking about normality, we also mentioned something about perspectives of normality. And here we have the same items that we talked about. So what I'm saying is that for every term, for every concept, you will talk in direction to that concept. Now, when it was normality, we talked about statistical factor, like having statistics about what should be a normal behavior. So here in abnormality, we're having a statistics in what should be regarded as abnormal behavior. The behaviors that deviate from what should be normal. What are they? Remember, I said that there is a thin line between normality and abnormality. So, but any one of us can cross to the other at any point in time. And I went forth to explain using the Freudian theory. I talked about the unconscious. I talked about the conscious. I talked about the iceberg. I said the tip of the iceberg is down, but a little piece is out. So when you want to talk about abnormality, you definitely have a knowledge of what, when you want to talk about abnormality, you definitely have a knowledge about what is normal. And then you're making a distinction based on the two. That, okay, what is normal is this and that and that. Now, what is abnormal is this and that and that. Now, what is abnormal is when this one is not right. It's when there is a disturbance. It's when there is a malfunctioning. It's when there is lack of coordination. You know, it's when there is an imbalance in the serotonin, serotonin imbalance. It is when there is a dopamine imbalance. It is when now normality. It is when there is a balance in that and the chemicals. It is when you do things that the society upholds as what is ideal. It is when you have not deviated. So let me ask you a question. People who take people who go sport betting, how will you categorize those who go sport betting?
I think culture will play a role here again.
Yes.
In some culture, that may not be seen as an abnormal behavior, but in other cultures, especially some with a strong religious inclination, may be seen as a deviation from the norm. So I think culture has a way to of telling us what that bet is to the person who is doing it and at the time and place that is happening. So we cannot partly say that it's an abnormal behavior, and we can also endorse it entirely and say it is a normal behavior.
Okay. As you say, at some point you agree that it's a normal behavior, and at some point you feel that it's not normal. Someone is at his shop. I think he's selling food.
Jigba, what are you cooking?
I want to say something.
You want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, man. I want to say.
To a certain level, I would like to say that. I would like to say that betting.
Allow him to speak.
Betting is an abnormal behavior.
See, when one person is out speaking, can you listen to me?
There is this.
Can you listen to me? Listen to me first. Listen
hello,
to me. I said listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me. That's what I'm saying. Listen to me. This is not me listening to you. It is me. It is you listening to me. When I say listen to me, pay attention. I'm the one moderating this class. That person who is cooking and is making a hell of noise at his shop, can you stop what you're doing? I said mute your speakers. Why do you want me to speak to you in this manner? Yet you are adults. A very simple instruction. You are beginning to behave abnormally now. Or is that?
Can I go
behave normal. Is that okay? Okay. I earlier on told you that there's a thin line. So that person has crossed to the other side. Okay, so now, yes, somebody wanted to speak. And when someone is about to speak, please, the others should pay attention.
Yes.
That is how you can get something. Yeah. So that person is giving the
yes,
now.
Can I go on, ma?
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
I don't know.
Okay. There's this behavior that some females, girls behaving like boys.
Listen to me. Can you listen to me? That person wanted to speak about sport betting. It is that person I want to. I'm giving the permission.
It's me. It's me. Okay. Personally, I look at sport betting as not a normal behavior.
Okay.
Simple reason why I look at it in that direction is that it's a stake that has no measurement. Whether it will come out good or not, this is a tentative measures that one is taking. And if we look at our bell curve, looking at sport betting, you discover that it doesn't conform at all. It will not go in a bell curve shape. if it is being measured. So anything that doesn't go in a bell curve shape, it therefore means that particular thing is abnormal. So betting to me is abnormal.
Yes. So you cannot just say betting is abnormal. Can you give us instances that have made you to say betting is abnormal?
Good.
Yes, good. Now, let me give an instance where I don't bet, but let me just try. Somebody says Arsenal is going to win. And then how many zero? Let's say the person said 2-0. Arsenal is going to win. That is a strong belief that Arsenal will win. But if at the play of the game, Arsenal lose completely, that person has lost his own money. And if we are drawing a curve, you discover that that curve for Arsenal will win is straight. It goes up. It doesn't have a bell curve. And when Arsenal now lose, it still goes on a straight curve without bending. So once a curve is not in a bell shape, it therefore means that particular behavior is abnormal. That is why I look at betting as an abnormal behavior. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So apart from that, you don't know other things that you should put together to say betting is abnormal. What about someone who bets goes about pickpocketing? Someone who bets, not all of them do it anyway, but then what
some
if
of them, most of them.
some of them go pickpocketing and
But some of them use their school fees.
Exactly.
You see?
Yeah.
Is it normal for someone to use their school fees? Or
it's
someone
not.
to use
They will even be telling you it's a sure ticket.
Yes.
Not normal. Not normal.
I think that may not entirely be tied to betting. If we want to argue it that way, even life generally. Just yesterday, one of my students, she just graduated this year, last year in BSU, and she just finished her project, died. That's but her aspirations and every belief about life got shattered from the point of death. So the person who spoke just made an analogy where you give two odds as the case may be, and then you are saying this is a sure ticket and all of that, and then that fits. It's for him. He's considering that will not fall into the bear shape and all of that. So if you want to analyze it that way, life also is a stake. In fact, a risky one at that. You give birth to a child, you sponsor the child in school, but you really don't know what becomes of that child tomorrow, whether the child will succeed or will not. Even the farming we do, you plant rice, you invest so much in that rice. Some people put in hundreds of thousands, millions. At the end of the day, you don't know if you will get even 2 bags. So it's also a high stake. So, but
Sir,
if we now link this to
allow him to finish up. Allow him to finish up. Allow him to finish here.
Good.
So people, can you be in the court at all?
So people who do betting go to the extreme of maybe taking their school fees and all of that. That's an extreme situation, and that's where the abnormality comes in. I don't think it is a debate as in itself, because if you put it that way, then life also is a stake. Family is a stake. Every other thing we indulge in is a stake, except another extreme behavior accompanies that, which, like you mentioned, you gave example, doing picking pocket to get money to go and stake in the betting and all of these other ones. That's when that becomes something that is extreme, that is abnormal. But if you put it, the bet at itself, you have maybe your legitimate money, you want to bet with it and all of that. Like I said before, it will be, culture will define it, because if you go to other places, that may not be an offense. If you go to other places, doing that alone, it's forbidden. It's seen as something like you are not normal in the head. So that's it.
Okay. Okay. Now, in order for you to understand that maybe sport betting is abnormal or whatever that happens around there is abnormal, it is when you are able to categorize normality. You are able to say, the society says normal beings behave this way, behave this way, behave this way. And then because people who sport bet are behaving this way, they take money that is not theirs, they take the pickpockets, they take people's phones, they are liars, they are cheaters, they can take money from their mother's purse without permission, a lot of things. And then for normality, the behavior is that people do not cheat, people do not pickpocket, people do not. If you don't pickpocket, that is a normal thing. That is what the society defines. That is how the society looks at it. It is normal. Now, but when you begin to do those things that will even cause problems to you, it is not normal, but it is abnormal. So, sport betting itself, and that is what makes sport betting a bad thing. But to many, it is not bad because once they put in, they say it is a sure game. They're able to get a lot, and many people have got a lot from there.
Hello, Ma. Can I say something?
Money. They
Can
have
I say something? Okay.
No, I will not give you permission until I land.
Okay.
So they have achieved a lot in that, and so for them, if you ask them, they will tell you that there is no abnormality here. It is normal. It has given them money to settle their problems and all of those. So, and that is why we say normality or abnormality is subjective. If you take that word subjective, it explains the whole thing. I talked about subjectivity, and I said our individual experience is also subjective. Everybody tells you what and why they are doing a particular thing. And what and why and how and why they are doing it is different from what the other person is also doing. And what belief they hold about it is quite different from what belief the others have. So it is phenomenological. It is subjective.
Okay.
Yes? You have been given the permission to talk.
Okay, Ma, what I wanted saying was, for me, because we cannot generalize, so we can see betting, sport betting as normal and as abnormal at the same time, because there are some people that see betting, they see betting as an occupation, while some persons see betting as a side hustle. If you are passing by, maybe you know that Arsenal is playing a match today, you can go and stake that, okay, give Arsenal a straight win. You just drop 200 or 100, you leave. Your mind is not there. Whether the ticket caught, whether it enters, it's not just something that will affect you. But some people, from morning till night, they are in the betting shop. They don't do any other thing. They start with casual, visual. They play they use their last kobo. If they don't have, they bet their phones in that shop, get money, and start going on with the betting again. So that one is abnormal. It can never be compared to you paying the child school fee from primary to secondary to university, and then the child dies later. No, it cannot be compared, because that one is what the general populace are doing. But when it comes to betting, a whole family, maybe a family of 14, 15 persons, there's one abnormal person that followed up that betting line, that even members of the family are always afraid of dashing him money, because if you give him, go and buy this thing, he'll go and play bet. You are doing so even if you are doing a business. If you are selling phones and you discover that this phone business is not paying you, you leave it. But some people with this betting lifestyle, even if their ticket is never in this life entering, they don't stop betting. So that one is abnormal.
And they keep putting in more and more money.
They keep putting in more and more money.
Yeah, of course, training a child, and then afterwards, we all are going to die one day. So do we say our existence is abnormal?
So they can say life itself is a
our
risk,
existence is not abnormal. We're talking about behavior Always have it at the back of your mind that what we are discussing is behavior and not death.
Yes.
Yeah, what we are discussing is behavior.
And not death.
And not whether someone then dies or lives. What we are talking about is behavior.
That is inevitable.
We are talking about behavior as regards to mental health, as regards to mental disorders.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can we, as like based on subjectivity, abnormal behavior, is it a disorder or a way of life?
Abnormal behavior becomes a disorder. I'll keep saying this. Abnormal behavior becomes a disorder when it affects functioning and when it falls within the limit or within the duration of what the DSM-5 has classified it to be. We're talking about abnormal behavior. Abnormal behavior can lead to a disorder. But the abnormal behavior itself is not a disorder, but it can lead to disorder. Remember, we talked about the DSM-5 and how it guides people to be able to know if a particular thing is a disorder or not. Yesterday, someone asked a question about this, and I made some clarification. Are you having difficulty in understanding what I talked about DSM-5, about what a disorder is?
Yes, ma. We're having difficulty saying that if I expatiate it. Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma.
And that is what I am saying. And that is what I'm saying. Now we have yesterday when we were talking about some issues like losing someone, having stress, and being shy, and all of those. We were made to understand that these are not disorders. These are not disorders. Maybe stress from someone's maybe if you are grieving or you are bereaved, and then you have cried and cried and cried, you feel so bitter and all of those. That cannot be a disorder. It is a normal thing that has been happening, though you are undergoing some form of normality. You are not okay at that point because of certain things that have befallen you at that moment. But then it can't be a disorder because DSM has not given that explanation of that particular thing. And that is why I say, for everything, for you to know whether something is a disorder, whether the way someone is behaving, whether you feel a behavior is abnormal, you have to make reference to the DSM-5. It will guide you. It will tell you that if someone is depressed for so number of time, or so number of weeks or months, then with following some symptoms, you must be able to identify some symptoms. Yes, this person has this symptom, is always feeling sad, feeling lonely, withdrawn, mood swings, having suicidal tendencies, and all of those. Now you have someone who is having this kind of things. These are symptoms, and then the person has been in that kind of mood for some time. So you go back to your DSM-5, you cross-check and you say, now DSM-5, what are you saying? When somebody has these symptoms and then this illness, this situation has lasted for so time, what are you talking about the time? Okay, maybe DSM says, okay, 6 months, or DSM says 3 months. Okay, yes. So this person had this, I think from the time I noticed this even more than 3 months. Then this must be depression. You understand what I'm saying?
Very well, ma'am. Very well.
That is a disorder. That has become a disorder because it has persisted. Remember, it must be something that has persisted. It's not something like maybe when you do something here I don't like and I scold you. And I scold you, or you say, eh, that woman is quarrelsome. It is not something like that. It must be something that has persisted for some time that can be categorized as a disorder. So it's not everything you say is a disorder. And these disorders are, we can mention some of them. And you can even go to Google and you check for yourself. Just click, just type in, I want to know the mental disorders we have, or give me a list of mental disorders. List of mental disorders. You will find a lot of them that are disorders. Yesterday we did mention something like schizophrenia, depression. We have anxiety disorders. We also have anxiety that is not a disorder. But when it goes to a certain limit, it persists to a certain limit, it becomes delusion. So yeah, we have paranoid delusion. We have a lot of it. We have borderline personality disorders. We have personality disorders. We have a lot of them. We have obsessive compulsive disorders.
Voyeuristic disorder.
What? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Please continue.
No, I want to hear from that person. You said what? What do you say?
Maybe he doesn't know how to repeat the word again.
I heard something like holistic disorder. Is there anything holistic? What is it? Can you explain?
I heard it too. Maybe I heard something like violating disorder.
Oh, violating. Is it violating or holistic? I heard holistic. I heard holistic.
Sune has gone out. Maybe has thrown out by network. But I heard, if not holistic, ballistic.
Okay, so when you Google, you are going to find some of those. When you Google, you are going to find.
But it's already break time. Oh.
After all these are things that at least we have shared our knowledge about them. I told you that when you talk about normality, it means that you understand what abnormality is. And then when you're explaining biological perspective in regards to abnormality, you are talking about how there is a disturbance. You are explaining how there is a disturbance that you can call abnormal. So that is that. Okay, you can go on your break. You can go on break. We shall resume by 1.
All right, ma. Thank you.
Thank you. Class rep, have you snapped me?
Thank you.
Class rep.
Thank you, ma. We are expecting the slides too.
Yes. I shall send to you.
Thank you, ma.
Okay. Thank you.
So, where's the class rep?
Class rep, or who is assisting him?
That person, I think that for somebody.
Tafa.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. You are going on break and you shall resume by 1. I think so.
All right.
Okay. It's okay. So until then, right. Yeah, I was trying to ask you, have you snapped me?
Yes, I've snapped now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let me also take my camera and
I will send you to your WhatsApp.
Don't worry, you didn't send those ones yesterday. I asked you to do it and send. You didn't.
I was searching your.
So what you will do? Snap from that end. I'm trying to snap from here, and it's covering my phone is covering me.
Okay, ma.
Yeah. So can you snap from the other end?
I've done it, man.
You have done, eh? So okay,
Yes.
when you do send it to my WhatsApp, you have my WhatsApp number?
I will copy the number from the timetable, your number from the timetable, then I'll send.
That's very good. That's very good. I'll be expecting to see the one of yesterday and today. Then also
I'll send all of them.
Snap the
I'll
attendance.
send them. I'll send them now.
You're only 14 number?
Yeah, we are 40.
We're 42 or thereabout.
About the other, what's it? The other three. What happened to them?
Maybe
They
finish this.
left.
They left for break.
Oh.
Not break. It's not break. It's not break.
Maybe network threw them out.
Or maybe network.
Man is network, man. Man is network that threw me out.
It's already 39 now.
Okay, you can go on break.
Thank you, man.
You can go for break, eh?
Thank you, ma.
You can go for break.
Thank you, ma.
Yeah.
Patrick Uto. Hey, yo, Patrick. Hey, yo. Alpha.
Sir?
What are you waiting there now?
Sir?
I greet you.
I'm good.
Oh, no, Yano. Now, where you there like that?
See, big man. What does that?
Admin, please
I
end the
greet
class.
Your lecturer still the officer. Are they national service?
Okay.
Are they national service now?
I go find the come so be man Abuja mba check.
Oh yeah, no issue. Are they? All right now.